I got a meteorological warning on our satellite system, and I'll show you. A typhoon warning east of Philippines moving 06 knots, max wind 70 knots near center, radius this, etc. So now this is something I have to pay attention to. Also inform the captain, but we already know. And those who are following me for a long time know that we have a system which already recognized this storm developing, which I'll give you an overview soon. So we have the satellite, the computer, and of course many instruments to find out how the weather system is. So we'll cover all of that. But first let's make a time lapse also of the entire transit. For 3-4 days I'll keep this on top, and let's see how that comes up. So let me first show you on the weather software we have what exactly is the situation and how it is building up. So here is our current location. You see the ship, and presently if I show you, the wind is around 19 to 20 knots and the sea is 1.6 meters or 2.4 meters swell. Now if you look outside, it is actually more than that. You cannot see the exact wave height because our ship's height right now is 60 meters or 70 meters above the water line. So once I go down in the afternoon, I'll show you. Now let's first give you a general overview. This is our ship currently. Last we were in Singapore, and we have to go all the way to China in Shanghai. This is our next destination, Shanghai. And you can see east of us, this is the Philippines island. We have a storm, and the storm is called Nyatoh. Now the course of this storm is northeast, and then it is fading away here. And generally in the northern hemisphere, the cyclones revolve in an anti-clockwise manner. Now it is so far away, like still the effects of this storm will be felt all the way in our transit. So now what we'll do is we'll ask a service provider to give us a route suggestion, and then me and the second mate, we will fix a route to avoid all of this 5 meters, 4 meters, because once it starts slamming on the bow, then there are severe damages which can happen. Let's find out what is the barograph and the barometer saying right now. So right now it is 1011 and the barograph trend is okay. But if it suddenly drops down, that means the low pressure is moving towards us, and that is a very big cause of concern. Right now we have also started preparing a heavy weather checklist, and these are the things for the bridge, the deck. Guys are preparing all the stuff here, engine room and crew safety, so we'll take care of this particular thing. Let's start with 17 first and go all the way up. Request for weather routing if wind Beaufort 8 or more is expected, as necessary as per master discretion. Now, this is a Beaufort wind force chart. This is how each force looks visually. And they said 8 is wind speed 34 to 40 knots, mean of 37 knots. Should look something like this. So right now, it is not looking like this, but we are expecting it to look like this. Hence, the master has sent a request to the routing services to help us guide for an alternate route, which I will show you also. Next is number 16, increase distance from shore if forecast predicts sub-zero, which means leads to ice accretion on board. But right now we are in a hot temperature area. The temperature is 27, so no chances of ice accretion for sure. That can actually lead to a lot of stability issues. Number 15 is consider increasing distance from shore if deep water generates freak waves, appears shoaling towards shallow water. So this I will show you in great details when I show you the new passage plan. But just know that in south of Indian Ocean, near South Africa area, there are freak waves which can go up to 15 to 20 meters. You can imagine that thing hitting our bow, and it has happened with me once and it was not so good. Now this is a ballast system, and we have something known as anti-rolling tanks, and we are now filling that up through the seawater from the ballast water treatment system, and this is actually going to reduce the GM and help us in the stability purpose. So next 13 include heavy weather maneuvering characteristics and initial course and speed adjustment to reduce heavy weather impact. Now, since the swell and sea is from the front area, from the bow, it is not that severe. On container ships which are these big, the problem is when the swell comes from the port quarters or the starboard quarters. Port is left, starboard is right. So this is a confusion which many of you will have once you join the ship. The swell from the quarters is a problem because there is something known as parametric rolling, and once that happens, the vessel goes to one side at a very high degree, and then containers are lost because of this. So 11 load conditions, stress, etc. anti-rolling, as I showed you. Weather routing, forecast, scrutinize, bridge, prepare for rough weather. That means we have to secure all of this, and you see the documents are already. I will put this now and secure it. So that's how we have to make sure the bridge is secure, because we don't want things flying off just in case we have heavy rolling or pitching. So now this is known as Anemometer, which indicates the wind speed, and you can see the wind is coming from the bow. The green dot shows the direction, and a speed of 38 to 45 knots relative. That means wind is from bow and we are going ahead, so the relative impact on this accommodation or the wind sensor is around 45 knots right now on day 1. So the radar picture starts looking like this, and this is known as the sea spray, which is like the white horses as you see here. These are actually getting painted on the radar, hence we need to adjust the sea clutter. No rain clutter because there is not much rain right now, but maybe towards the next 2-3 days rain will also be a factor which will hamper our navigation. I think the rain gods are not happy with me, and you can see the rain clouds have already started appearing on the radar, and I can see a few clouds just hovering somewhere there. So storm is approaching. Right now I'm on the planning station, the EGDIS planning station, you can see, and this is our route overview, the map. So this was our original course, the red dotted line, and now we consulted with our routing services, and then we have made a new passage. You can see this yellow dotted line, so we will be going close to Philippines so that we get shelter from the heavy waves and wind over here, and then continue our way to Shanghai. So guys, I'm done with my watch right now. I'll go up, collect my GoPro, hopefully it's there, and wind is picking up. You can see the white horses. Mayat, are you ready for storm? Ready for storm coming up? Are you ready?
Ready for storm, huh?
Ready for storm, huh?
Really?
Yeah, storm coming. Huh? It is 12:45 in the afternoon. I'm back in my cabin. I will take some rest. The vessel is you cannot see anything. That's the disadvantage of having container ships. But the vessel is not moving yet. So I'll sleep now for a little while, then go out on deck and show you what's happening exactly. So the wind currently is from the bow, so there is no leeward or windward side. Hence, let's go out from the starboard side. So guys, here we are in the power station. You can see the big lashings. See the huge turnbuckles put onto the anchor, and this is known as the breakwaters. To hear that and feel it, it's scary, but this is nature, and you can never play with nature. So guys, tomorrow what what we'll do is go inside the engine room and see how that is looking. But for today, let's cover the stern part and see how the propeller is behaving right now. With the two propellers making way, the dark skies and the deep waters. What a beautiful life at sea moment. We are back inside on day one, and let's see what day two has in store with us. Now, take some rest. So guys, it is night time. I'm going to sleep. Day one. Tomorrow will be day two. And this door just started moving by itself. As you can see. That means small pitching has started. Oh, it's how it's going. But this is the advantage of being on a big ship. Not much of the effect, but still can feel the jerk movement, and that makes me sleepy. Like most of the people get sleepy in this kind of a situation. It is 7:50 the next day in the morning, and I just woke up. Didn't have a very good sleep because the vessel was moving too much. As you can see the curtains right now. Okay, let's go outside and I'll show you a better view of it. Then I have to take my breakfast and go on the bridge. During rough weather, you don't feel like eating much. Only fruits and some oranges are good, but we have to eat something. So, some eggs and bread. So guys, have a look at this. If going on deck, please do not use port side. I'm back on the morning watch, and this is Beaufort 8 or 9 for sure. A lot of choppy weather, and you'll see the vessel has started pitching as well. See the mast going up and down. Anyway, let's go there and check what's the status of the barometer and get a better view outside from the door. So barometer right now is 1011. Trend is looking good. That means the low pressure is not coming towards us. We are still away from it. And you can literally feel the wind, gushing through this door. I tried to set up my GoPro somewhere there or there for a time lapse, but it is very tough because the wind is too much. Let's see what's the relative wind. I think it's more than 40, 50, 60 knots. Oh, you will see what I'm talking about. So relative wind right now is showing 56, 50, 60 knots from our port bow. So yes, you can see the white horses. And let's have a look at the weather forecast right now, where we are and what exactly is happening. Day 2, we are just east of Vietnam, Vung Tau. And if I take the cursor to our ship, you'll see we have a waves of 4.4 meters, risk wave height 5.1 meter, winds 40 knots, but it is definitely more than that. And this is the real shit we are in. What we have done is we have 4 CCTV cameras installed, 2 on the forward, 2 in aft, and we can see over here if there's a heavy wave or a swell developing and it's slamming onto the ship's hull, then we alter the course accordingly to avoid that slamming and pounding, which can actually cause damages to the containers and of course the ship. Actually last night was not so much fun. I could sleep only for 4-5 hours because of the jerks. You suddenly wake up. So if you're a light sleeper, then definitely it's a big problem. This ship is not moving, still you cannot sleep. Imagine going on small ships which go to start rolling 30-35 degree. Oh, what a disaster. Anyway, the weather looks like it started to clear up. The sun is out. So afternoon I'll have to get some rest today. Since we are in heavy weather today, I'm eating an orange. I'll show you. It is a good tip to have vitamin C loaded things to avoid seasickness, especially for the new joiners. A very interesting thing. We have a shaft generator motor which I showed you in the engine room tour video, and today it's being used as a motor. That means electricity is being provided to it to help the propeller or the shaft move, give it more power. And generally it is the other way. It is used as a generator. The power from the propeller is used to produce electricity for the ship. So that is why it is shaft generator motor. I'll go to the engine room today and give you a visual of it. So guys, right now what I'll do is go to the engine room and show you what's happening there. The shaft generator motor, as I showed you in the morning. So let's proceed. Well, right now I'm in the engine control room and a lot of parameters here being monitored for the heavy weather, and the shaft generator motor is actually down, so we'll go there. And I just wanted to see an engineer here, but unfortunately I guess these guys have knocked off because I am doing overtime at 17:15. Obviously this is rest time, so do give it a thumbs up if you have watched till now. And guys, this is a generator motor panel, and we've got a turbine generator running. Number 3 generator producing 1200 kilowatt, 1900 kilowatt number 1 generator. And this is the motor giving the output. Number 1 motor, number 2 motor, and rest I don't have much idea about. So we'll go down and see what's happening there. We can hear the main engine producing power. Right, this here is the shaft generator motor. Right, that was the engine room, the shaft generator motor, etc. And now I'm outside. Feels good to be out. It's too hot there, and the wind has died down. Guys, we'll end the day too. It is 1 AM in the night time, and hopefully the night is better. Last night was horrible, and before sleeping I have a good habit of reading the Bhagavad Gita. So God has a watch over me, but for now let's end this day. Good night. Day 3 guys, the sun is out, the blue waters are back, the captain is happy, and it's a beautiful morning. So we have successfully passed the main part of the storm. Right now still we have around 20-25 knot wind, but it's still okay. And yeah, let's see how the day progresses now. I read a very beautiful quote once. It said that in life either you are inside a storm, or you are going into a storm, or you are coming out of a storm. And that might just be true here. As you see right now our position is here, and once we go every 6 hours, here we take shelter from Philippines, and then you can see the shit building up ahead. Interesting thing now to see. You see, yesterday it was M shaft generator motor, today is shaft generator only. That means now we are producing electricity 630 kilowatt, 650 kilowatt from each motor generator, and the real diesel generator has been shut off. So this means now The motor mode is off and we are generating electricity by the help of the propeller turning. So this is how energy efficiency is also maintained on board. It is day 5 and I have shaved, but that's not the important part. Important part is yesterday we had good weather because we were sheltered from Philippines, but today we are out of the shelter in between Taiwan and Philippines. Hence all the wind is coming from here, and you see outside we already started having a little bit rough weather, and you can see the wind speed has increased back to 30-40 knots, force 6, force 7. And still it is good, not as bad as the one we had before. So you see rain clouds are here again. Right now I'm inside a cargo hold and I wanted to make you guys hear the cracking sound which you'll hear inside. Just wait for it. Guys, you can hear the cracking of the container, the hull, the stresses pounding, everything. My God. Finally, it is the 8th day and we are approaching the coast. And as you know, the amount of fishing boats are getting more and more. In the 6 mile range it still looks good, but in the 24 mile range it is bad. So I will not vlog much now. Just wanted to show you that the pressure now has increased considerably. 1030, almost 1030, yeah. And temperature outside has become so good. It is approximately 15 degrees and the weather is back to normal, as you see. And even you can see the small fishing boats coming back and doing their business. And we're going to reach Shanghai very soon. So stay tuned for the time lapse of the entire journey. We have made it to Shanghai. The port is right over there and you can see this vessel swinging around and the night lapse is on right now. So we'll be going. Toolbox meeting done. Toolbox meeting done. So time for mooring off. Here we are alongside in the port of Shanghai. Finally, oh, they're just doing the lashing now. Finally, after 8 days of bad weather, and now we have our sludge operations going on. Have a look at that Chinese building. Typical shape. And whenever I look at the coastline, I always feel like going out, but it's not possible in these days in Merchant Navy. So anyway, that's the reality. In any case, if you did like the video, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, share the video, and I'll see you back from another day at sea. Yes. Time to go back.